Today's guest is Bryce Witmer. Bryce is a fitness, business, and lifestyle creator with a following north of 500,000 followers. But what caught my attention is what he's building right now. He's got his own company, Hyve, and he's developing a protein bar on top of it. And Bryce didn't start with content. He's a Penn State civil engineering grad who played lacrosse, took a field engineering job, and walked away from that safe path to bet on himself. Bryce, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on. I feel like this is kind of overdue, so I'm excited to be on.
I'm very happy you're here, man. I'm really happy you're here. We're going to get into a lot of stuff today, but I want to start with what you're doing right now. So tell me what Hyve is, what you're building, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so Hive is our app for founders, entrepreneurs, and creators to connect on. We felt like there was a white space, and in my entrepreneurship journey, I just felt like I didn't have those people to talk to, and I met my two co-founders, Drew and Drew, through Instagram, and we kind of had the best 3-hour Zoom call ever, and we kind of were just like relating, sharing ideas, and through that process of all of us quitting our full-time jobs, going the entrepreneurial route, we're like, we need more like-minded people. It's great when our college, high school, hometown friends, they have their 9 to 5 jobs, and they're not fully able to relate to the same struggles you're going through. So just creating an app for those people to connect on, build relationships with, and kind of grow. And then, yeah, like you said, I'm working on my own protein bar. It's going to be a whole food, nutrient dense, clean protein bar. It should be launching here in the next 2 to 3 months, which I'm excited about. And then just growing the personal brand, content, and all that stuff on top of it. So yeah.
It's incredible. How did you get into the mental space of I'm going to launch an app? You had a civil engineering background. Where did you make that transition to kind of technical founder, you know?
Honestly, it just came out of the blue. Like I said, the story was I went to Penn State, studied civil engineering, was working for a construction company as a project engineer, was growing the personal brands, and I realized like I wasn't utilizing my following to its full extent. I would follow and have a lot of similar followers and following, but we weren't really like talking. And then when I met Drew and Drew, the idea of the app came to be, and I knew a lot of people that were just starting apps in the space, knew of people like yourself. And we were like, dude, this is a great idea, and let's go forward with the app. And I think the business model is going to expand to more community and stuff outside of the app, but the app's kind of like the core central piece of it.
Do you think young kids should go to college right now?
This is not a clear and concise answer, but I think it's 50-50. I think there's sides to both sides of the story. I think it's can be wastes of money with where AI is going. My first reaction would be like, no, I think you can build your business and do what you want. But if you don't have that entrepreneurial spirit and that's not in you and that drive to start your own thing and take that risk, then I do think some STEM degree or other major like that, being a doc or something like that, then it's valuable.
What do you think is the most important major someone can choose in this new era that we're going into?
Things that can't be replaced with AI. I mean, my industry is specifically construction, right? Like there's always going to be construction. There's always going to be new buildings built. We're always going to have a need for those types of industries. So I'd say something along those lines, but I'd be worried about the entry level software engineering jobs and um, marketing and things like that that AI can easily replicate.
You're kind of building at the intersection of both social and uh, networking, like content plus app technology in the
Mhm.
networking space. What do you think has allowed you to grow your audience, and how are you using that skill set to grow Hive?
Yeah. I think starting out, the biggest thing was providing value. A lot of people want value, they want authenticity, and they want to know what you're interested in and what you like to do. And I think there's a relatability aspect to it of they want to relate to. And I think when you post, if I post fitness stuff or lacrosse or golf or business, like people can see that and they relate to it. And I think that's a big thing is like feeling, they almost feel like it's them and they feel heard in like your own story. So I think sharing your story, being authentic and just providing good value to people is three of the best ways to grow that social platform. And I think that ties in with Hive and the community aspect because with AI and everything going so isolation and doing everything on your own and getting rid of all these workers at certain jobs and this and that, having that community and having those people by your side is more important than ever. And I think it's going to continue like that in the future.
Totally agree. Do you have any fear of posting too broad of content instead of niching down? Like, do you believe that you're the niche?
I've had this thought a lot and I've went back and forth with it. And I really do think you can be the niche if you're providing value and documenting your life. I think people starting out should pick a niche and be more specific because that's how you're going to build a trust and a following. And I think as you grow and build your following, you can kind of expand and show more aspects of your life. Like me specifically, I started just fitness content, just workout tips, diet tips, physique, like lifting, all that type of stuff. And I've recently more expanded to like lifestyle stuff, my businesses, and just my full overall picture. And I would consider myself the niche now, whereas when I started, it was just fitness. So I think you should start more niche and then expand.
Totally makes sense to me too. I kind of had a similar path where I started with fitness content and then I started branching out, and you kind of get naturally pulled in different
Hmm.
directions. So people think that they're looking for the answer, like, oh, what niche should I build my career in? It's not really like that. It's kind of like one foot in front of the other. You're going to get pulled in different directions. I never thought I would have a creator platform, for instance.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that I could post social media content because you have to take the biggest swing that like you kind of know you can at a time, and
Hmm.
then take steps past that. But I want to hear about your whole story. So where you're from, what your upbringing was like. Having 500,000 followers is not a normal thing.
Yeah.
A CPG, I guess protein bar would
Yeah.
be considered
CPG.
CPG.
Yeah.
And then also an app. So you're kind of hitting on all three of these things. I know you've done coaching in the past as
Yeah.
well. So tell me that story. Like, what was unique about your upbringing that
Hmm.
led you to all of this?
Yeah. So growing up, I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, near the Amish area, if you're familiar with that. Hour and a half outside of Philly, and I was always good at math and science. Wanted to do engineering or something along those lines in college. And I always grew up playing a ton of sports, was into working out, health, all that stuff. So played a bunch of sports, ended up going to Penn State studying engineering. But I'd say the main thing in me, my true passion, was the sports, the health, and the fitness. I mean, I started going to the gym when I was 16, lifting every day, taking my creatine, just meeting friends after school, and we'd spend like 3 hours in the gym. So I think just being obsessed with lifting, the gym, my health, I would go home and watch 4 hours of YouTube videos a night on like exercises, diet, all these different things, different routines. Um, and that was my true passion, and I loved it. And then what I was doing in the school side of things, I didn't really love. I always had an entrepreneurial mindset growing up. I mean, I used to try to flip Yeezys. I would sell football cards and like jersey NFL cards and baseball cards. I had all these little businesses I would start growing up, so I always knew something in me wanted to like have my own business or start something. But I didn't really know how to conceptualize it. And then I think I was in the middle of college, right after COVID, sophomore year, and I was like home for the summer, and I just thought I'm just gonna start posting. Like I'm gonna post 3 TikToks a day, every day for a year straight, and just see what happens. So I started posting. Obviously, start slow for a little, for a few weeks, and then after like a few weeks, I had a video hit like 1,000 likes, and then I had one that hit like 5,000 likes, and it kept growing, and then eventually I had my first viral video. Um, and it kind of was a snowball effect from there. I always wanted to start posting prior. I was always worried what my friends thought of me, making fun of me, what other people thought. So I didn't post on Instagram to start. I just started on TikTok because I thought people wouldn't see it.
Right.
But then I'd be in my hometown and everyone would be like, "Oh, I saw you on TikTok. Yo, TikTok boy." So you go through that, but it pretty much just started with a goal of 3 TikToks a day, every day for a year straight, and just I would see what happens. And 4 or 5 months in, I hit like 200,000 followers, and then it was kind of steady sailing from there. I saw the potential with the money, the brand deals, the relationships, the connections I've made, and kind of just started my Instagram and just kept growing from there.
How did you make your first dollar online?
It was a supplement brand deal. I think it was probably through commissions and using my code. And then I also had a few like really small brand deals. Back then I was like, oh, $100 for a video, or like maybe $200. But just learning, and kind of just back then too, you just accept any brand deal, but through commissions and then a brand deal.
Or I remember my first brand deal, I cried.
Yeah,
It was 4 grand like first month, and that doubled my income from my normal job.
it's crazy.
And I just didn't even think it was real the whole time negotiating it, signing the contract, submitting the videos the whole time. And then
Hmm.
I got that email one day, like invoice received. I was like, whoa.
That's what year was that?
It's 2023 in May. Yeah.
That's life changing. 4 grand's a lot. Like
Dude,
I didn't have any bigger brand deals like that until a little bit in. I mean, I was making a lot for my commissions as I grew my following, but to start, I was doing like $100 for a video. And
Yeah.
so I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, most people don't early on, right? So you went to 0 to 200,000 in
like
4
4 months.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. What do you think you could do that again? Number one, and then number two, how would you recommend someone start off with social media to get that amount of growth quickly?
Yeah.
And
So
third thing, do you think it's actually the most important thing to just get the followers, or is there a more beneficial use of social?
yeah, definitely. All good questions. I think so. To your first question, if it's possible?
How could you do it?
Oh,
Could you do it again?
could I do it again?
Yeah.
Could I do it again? I think it is more difficult nowadays. At least for TikTok specifically, where I started, I've seen it, and experienced it, and like the algorithm's just not the same as it was back then. But I think I could 100% do it again. There's some strategies with it, obviously volume, quantity, lighting, like all these other things that matter. I do think I could do it again. Would I promise 200K in 4 months? I don't know, but I definitely think I could hit 100K in 6 months or whatever it might take, or maybe a year. It might just be a little slower. Um, and in terms of like how to do it, I would say everyone says it's all about quantity, which I agree to start. And similar to how you said, figuring out your niche, you're not going to know what is your niche, what's going to work, what to post. You're not going to know any of these questions when you're starting. You just have to go in with the idea of like, I'm going to post about a certain topic I love or have interest in or know a lot about, and post a ton of quality, provide a lot of value, and just be yourself. And I think those three things are all you simply need. Obviously, there's more metrics like having a good hook, good lighting, making people engaged is obviously the idea. But if you can just put out, I'm talking more than 3 videos a day, like 5, 10 videos a day, and you just have unmatched volume with value, like people are going to see your page and they're going to want to follow you and save your videos and share your videos. So I think those are honestly the most important steps to hitting that
And do you
follow.
think it's still the right goal to get followers? Or at this point in your career, what do you think is most important with social?
Yeah. So when I started, I was chasing followers, just views and followers. I didn't really know what I was doing. I think it's 1,000 times more valuable to have 10,000 followers that are bought into you and your life and your brand than having 300,000 followers that happen to follow you for viral video. And I think that's a mistake I did make starting my page. I think I have a pretty good following and loyal following, but I know there's some people that have like that cult like following, right? And I think, I mean, I've seen it in terms of brand deals as well. Some creators that have 8,000 followers could make $5,000 for one brand deal, and I know people with 500,000 followers that make $500 from one brand deal.
Or
So I
no
think,
dollars?
yeah, or zero, and they're not making any money.
Yeah,
And there's
right.
people with like 10,000 followers making 50K months. So I think it's all about the quality now. I wouldn't chase the following. I wouldn't chase the money. I would go in it with the true intention of just providing value, being yourself. And you got to do it because you love it. If you're doing it for the money, you're gonna get burnt out eventually.
As in the case for all industries and all types of work, if you don't really love it, you're cooked
Yeah,
because you're going to be
100%.
competing against people that do love it.
Yeah.
Super interesting. If I wanted to curate a very credible audience, people that I could sell like a ton of money to,
Mm-hmm.
what type of content style should I try to prioritize?
I think there's a variety. I know multiple creators making lots of money that have different styles of content. I think finding your format that works for you is great. Some people, the talking head format works really well for them. Sometimes it's a B-roll, sometimes it's storytelling. I think storytelling and really sharing the story is the best way to build like trust and authenticity and that people want to buy from you. But I think it varies and tests out all different types to start. Find what like format works well and then just double down on that one.
Incredible. Do you think a lot of young guys should focus on dating, or where does that fall priority? Is it just when you meet the right person, or is it something you look for? Like, how do you look?
I
How
think
did
you
you approach it?
definitely need to focus on yourself first and focus on obviously yourself. You can't look for someone else to fill that other half of you or fill where you're weaker at. And I think you need to really be happy and trustworthy in yourself first and who you are as a person, what you're building, and have like those aspirations first. And then, yeah, the right person will come along and you'll either find them organically or obviously you can put in more effort and try to find someone. But I don't think it should be your sole priority to just like only search for a girl. Just like your sole priority shouldn't be only focusing on money. Like there's more things to life than,
In
yeah.
terms of that sort of thing, forcing an outcome, how do
Yeah.
you look at forcing an outcome versus kind of letting it come to you in terms of your protein bar or Hive or dating? How do you draw that line versus for I'm going to do these things every day and get this result versus I'm going to kind of put this out into the world and see what happens? Like where is that comparison for you?
I think you need to originally start with that like forced idea and what you want and what you want to do and kind of test it. So put it out there, go all in on something, and you can kind of see or gain traction, whether it's the type of content you're making. You go all in on talking head videos for 3 months straight and not a single one breaks 100 views. Yeah, maybe switch it up, but you still have to go all in and
Leave no stone unturned kind of
exactly
thing.
make
Yeah.
sure you're putting that effort in and doing something you're committing to, as opposed to just like, oh, I'm going to test 5 million different business ideas and just see what one works. Like pick something, try it, can always pivot down the line, but I think you should go all in on something to start.
I know so many young guys now that switch all the time, whether it's they're distracted by girls or new businesses or new opportunities or social or whatever it is. And the guys that I know that are actually killing million a month plus guys, all of them have just been doing the same thing for 5+ years. Like there's no way around that. I don't know if, they could have gotten there quicker with what they know now, but if you're starting from zero, it's 5 years in the same thing. And maybe it pivots a little bit. Like maybe it's e-com as a whole, and your newest product is the one that's ripping and getting you up to numbers that you want. But it seems like so many young people are completely lobotomized by social and seeing all this different types of success. How do you keep yourself grounded in terms of what's important for you versus what you think you should have in an external way?
Yeah. I struggle with this all the time. The grass is always greener. The minute I'm starting my bar and my app, you see people doing UGC full time. You see people doing an agency. You see people selling AI to small businesses. Like it's always
Something.
And there's always that 18-year-old that's making $5 million, or the younger person doing better than you in a certain aspect. I think you just have to go, like you said, it takes 5 years of hard work, and you got to put forth that effort into it. And yeah, you're going to second guess yourself. You're going to doubt yourself. But regardless, if you put 5 years of true work into that one idea, like it's going to work out in some extent. There's going to be pros and cons to everything. I think that's the main struggle, is you see certain pros to one side, but you don't see the cons, and you only see the cons in the business you're currently doing. But I'm sure if you switch ideas, you're going to have cons in that business as well. So there's pros and cons to everything. It's about finding what you enjoy, what you love, what you're good at, what you know a lot about, and then just sticking with it.
Yeah, it's the concept of ikigai, like
Yep.
what you're good at, what you love, what the world needs, what you can get paid
Yep.
for. And the intersection of that, super powerful. And that gives you a good insight into, okay, what can I do for 5 years as well?
Yeah.
That would be like the fifth part of that. Like, yeah, I love it. I'm good at it. The world needs it. I can make money from it. Can I do it forever? I played Fortnite professionally. People
I
watch.
to talk to you about that. Not we don't have to
but
different time,
but dude, I could do like
yeah.
2 years and I was burnt out.
Yeah.
12, 15 hours a day in front of a monitor is tough.
Yeah,
It's really tough. My CTO does it every day. I don't know how he does it, but it's incredibly tough. And the same thing with two things. Zach Yadagari, he's like 18, sold Cal AI for a lot of money. I think it was 75 million kind of range, or more. And he's 18, but he had been coding for 5 or 6 years. So even in that situation, because young kids are like, bro, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Oh, he's just been doing it for 5 or 6 years. Yeah. And fortunately now with AI, we can accelerate that timeline. It probably used to be longer. I mean, in terms of history, Rockefeller was 25 or 26 when he owned all the oil refineries in Ohio. He became like the largest oil refinery owner at 25, 26 years old.
Yeah.
That's extremely rare. And he was probably doing stuff for 10 years. But now, because we have AI, things can be quicker. But it's still, as long as you can picture yourself doing something for 5 years, you're good.
100%. I mean, same with me, is someone might look at me today and be like, oh, you're so lucky, you're 25, you just quit your job and you're doing this and that and starting these businesses. I started posting in 2021 or 2022. So it's been 4+ years.
And there's a lot of stuff that actually sucks with that entire process.
And I wasn't doing, I mean, for the first 2 or 3 years, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just posting. Yeah, I had followers. Didn't correlate to anything. Yeah, just darts at the dartboard. So like, there's a lot of work people don't see. Same with the pros and cons thing. It's like, there's things you just don't see. And it's no matter what you want to think or how easy it might look, it's not like that.
Yeah, content is a weird thing because as you get into building a business, that seems to take precedent. I've seen it in a bunch of people's personal brands, like Milioni, who used to post all the time on TikTok. He still does, but the volume is less because it's not the priority anymore. And I think, going back to the point that you had earlier, where if you're kind of, so caught up on the outcome, then it almost becomes harder to get the outcome. But if you're willing to, like Matthew McConaughey says this, he wanted a wife so bad. And then he finally got to the point where he's like, maybe I just don't ever have a wife.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like let that sit in, like what that would feel like. And he became more open to it. And then he found his wife. So I'm curious how you look at, your future with the protein bar, with Hyve. There's like the Timothy Chalamet quote as well, where he's like, I don't even let that enter my inner conscience.
Yeah.
But me personally, the way I look at it is if Artec or any of my projects were to fail, I know for me personally, it's like coming from a good situation. Like my life will be better because of it. Either way, it's going to benefit me completely. Like, how do you see failure as a whole?
So I think one of the biggest things is my faith and my trust in God that his plan is ultimately going to work out. And if this is what he wants me to do, I think it will work out. I think he has a plan for everything. But I also think that, like you said, even if this bar fails, even if my app fails, yes, those businesses were a fail, but I don't view my life as a failure then. I actually think just through the process of starting these, I've learned a ton, learned what worked in an app and what didn't work in an app. I've learned what worked in CPG and what didn't work, connections, manufacturers, all this stuff that you can just go start a new business or a new idea and you know so much more.
Flawless
You can do it a
friction.
lot much faster, less friction, connections, like it's all a connection game, and you're going to find that one person that helps you in some way you didn't have help before, and I think something will work out. It's the same with content, anything, like it's cliche, but if you don't give up and you just keep trying something, at the end of the day, something will work out.
Who'd have thought that would be the secret to the universe? Is
Literally.
genuinely try. Like how hard? I
And
don't
everyone
think.
says it, and people
Yeah.
think trying means, oh, try for 6 months, but like, no,
No.
try for 10 years straight.
Yeah, then you're gonna be good. It's
Yeah.
kind of hard to lose at that point, and I think it's getting easier because so many people do get pulled in different directions. So the people that are consistent over a long period of time are just creating luck.
Yeah.
You know, super interesting. You say you're a Christian. What was it? Did you grow up in a Christian home, or what was that upbringing like for you?
Yeah, I grew up in a Christian home, went to church every Sunday. Both my parents were Christian. Yeah, I was around it my whole entire life.
How do you feel like that's influenced you positively?
Yeah, I think it's been huge. I think it helps keep me grounded and not, even though there's times obviously I get caught up in worldly things or whatever it might be, right? There's always that grounding and I fall back on my faith, and there's a lot of times when I'm in struggle. I'm obviously deeper in my faith and obviously I want to improve my relationship with God, but it's been huge. It helps me tremendously in life, and I think everyone that really dives into their faith does have a benefit from it. But yeah, it's been in my life ever since I was a kid, and it's been huge for everything.
What does that look like for you now? How much time do you spend in the Word
Mhm.
versus attending church? It's obviously very difficult, and I believe in seasons,
Mhm.
you know, for what we do. But where do you split your time in terms of, you know, I'm going to build on my relationship with God,
Mhm.
relationship with girlfriend, relationship with family,
Mhm.
business. Like it's a lot of things to
Yeah,
juggle.
I think I think your faith in God should be your number one priority always, and I think everything else falls under that. Obviously, do I struggle with that? Yes. Do I always put him first every single day? No. Like my ideal goal is to read my Bible first thing in the morning, 20 minutes, to start my day. I think it gets my mindset right and gets me ready for the day. And if I try to push it off, just like pushing anything off, you end up never doing it. So Bible first thing. I go to church every week, mostly in person. If I'm traveling or something comes up or whatever it might be, I'll watch it online. And then just praying daily and trying to just pause in moments where I'm stressed or overwhelmed and just slow down a little bit and maybe say a prayer or just think back to my faith. But am I perfect with all this stuff? No. Am I a perfect Christian? No. Do I sin? Yes. Never gonna be perfect, and forgot to read my Bible this morning because we had early workout
My
this
bad.
morning. Didn't go to bed till late last night. And yeah, so I'll hopefully do it later today.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not perfect with it, but I try to put an
Yeah.
emphasis on it.
Well, I love to hear that. I think it's super important. There's almost been a little bit of a culture change towards it.
Hmm.
I think it used to be, you know, people would look at Christians and you'd be like, okay, you believe in some some being or something that's not real.
Yeah.
But as I get more into entrepreneurship, I feel like creating is like such a human thing. Like I feel like it's not just something we do like I don't know, eating food or just hanging. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like I feel I don't know, like my relationship with God, I think it's stronger the more I'm trying to create and build.
Hmm.
Like there's more hardship, there's more of me relying on him, like
Hmm.
all of those different things, which I love. I wanted to talk a little bit more about your friends and your upbringing.
Hmm.
The odds are you started going to the gym with these guys when you're 16. I doubt they have 500K followers. I could be wrong, but what are they doing? Like, why do you think you went that path? Is it more nature or nurture?
It's a good question. And yeah, actually none
Not
of
to put
my
them on the
yeah,
spot. Yeah.
no. And it's not talking, it's just different directions we all went in life. Everyone I grew up going to the gym with from my hometown, I don't think there's anyone that even posts on social media.
It's crazy.
In terms of like my guy friends. They're all doing well for themselves. A lot of them went to college, got good jobs after school and everything. I think what was in it for me is just I think it's personality. I think you have that entrepreneurial spirit and that drive and the risk taking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge risk taker. Like I'll start my bar, I'll start my app, I'll start like I just like taking risks. I've been like that ever since I was a kid. So I think that part of me is kind of just what pushed me forward. Um not necessarily how I was specifically raised. Like my dad's a risk taker, but it's not like I grew up with these crazy risk taking like um thoughts or pushed on me at all. But I just think that spirit inside of me is kind of what pushed me to start.
Well, what's your relationship like with your mom? Most entrepreneurs that I talk to on the show, we're
Mhm.
almost at 20 episodes, vast majority of them have pretty good relationships with their mom. Like
Yeah.
they credit their mom a lot. And I think there's something to be said in terms of if I fail, I'm still going to be loved.
Yeah.
As weird as that is, it kind
Dude,
of
that's
sounds
yeah, I mean it's spot on with me too. Like I
yeah.
have a great relationship with my mom. She was like one of the best, like all my friends are like, dude, I loved coming to your house when we were little. She would make us all this food and was
Yeah.
like always there for us, like getting us, picking us up from school, all this stuff. So yeah, she's been the most supportive, best mom I could ask for, always there for me, to support me in anything I do. Always loving, taking care of me. So I'm very blessed to have her in my life, and great relationship with my dad as well. But yeah, my mom was awesome.
Yeah, I once did a podcast and I basically talked about my mom and how enjoyable it was. Same sort of thing,
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "What about me?"
What
Yeah, he
about
listened to
me?
the episode. I was like, "My bad, Dad. I'm sorry about that." But yeah, I think parenting is so huge.
Kids are definitely in play. I think 2 to 3 is my goal, ideal. I really want a boy at some period. Not that I don't want a girl, but I just really want a boy.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I just view him like a mini little you running around,
yeah.
and can like I don't know, just all my same passions. I think just being able to share with him
Hmm.
sports, fitness, working out, business, everything
I
like that.
really wanted when I was growing up. I'm like, I want sons. You know what I mean? I want four.
Mhm. Do you still?
As I got older, in I just want to have good children. Like I want
Yeah.
them to be like huge net benefits to the world.
Hmm.
And to be honest, with the world we live in now, I think girls can have much more of an impact than guys even. I think society's kind of built for them in a little bit. If you look at who's now getting more jobs out of school, who's doing better in college, like a lot of those things now favor women, which
Hmm.
means they can be in opportunities. We haven't had a woman president, but everything else we've pretty much had.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I don't really care that much if it's
Yeah.
a guy or girl. Like
Do you still want 4 kids?
I don't know. Like my ideal situation would be, I love to bounce around. So that's my fear. I don't know if my kids or my wife specifically will probably want like a more solid type of, foundation. But I would love the idea of having a private jet, putting the family in the private jet and going to different countries. When I was young, I went to Finland when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And I got to see what Europe was like in Scandinavian countries and then come back to school. And it gave me a lot of understanding of how other countries operate.
How long were you there for?
I would go like 2 weeks every other year since I was
Oh,
like
really?
9. So I got to see when people in California school systems would be like, oh, like the model society is Finland.
Yeah.
It's the happiest country on earth. And I'm like, I was just there for 2 weeks. I like what we have better,
Yeah.
and I think most people here do. We just have so much negative publicity.
Yeah.
And so being able to, I think that would be the best education for them.
Experience.
And I would
So
need,
what's you value and
yeah,
how good you have it here.
yeah, exactly. And just being able to talk to different people, seeing how different people like cultures interact. I think it's really important. I would have to have a wife that would be
Willing.
so chill,
Yeah.
like
Travel.
sure, let's get on the plane,
Yeah.
but that would be the goal. Either way, I want that to happen. So
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean,
When
two
you
kids
say travel
plus,
with your family, like would you travel with them while your kids are super young? Like how old? Or like
I think once they're like sentient, I think it's like
yeah.
5 years old or older. Yeah, I don't think it makes a huge
Before
amount of
middle
sense.
school.
Yeah,
Before
probably
elementary
before.
school.
Yeah, kind of elementary school-ish
Yeah.
starting. When they're under, like when they're toddlers and stuff, they're no benefit.
Mhm.
Huge net negative probably too
Yeah.
in terms of responsibility there. But that's how I see it. I think that would be the best thing for them. Look at other cultures, um, food, how people live. One thing I loved experiencing in Finland was how many people were very happy with the lives that they had,
Hmm.
which is true. I guess it is like the happiest country ever. Um, but does that mean their quality of life is super high? Or like the way I look at the US is because it's a economic powerhouse. Um, we're always going to be, I think, like relatively people are gonna disagree with this. And it's funny because now that I do social, I know exactly what people are gonna
What people
say.
get mad about.
Yeah. And so I'm like, man. But I think there's just such a benefit to being in the US and being able to travel and visit those different countries,
Yeah.
basically.
No, I agree. And people, I think the headlines of publicity can be negative here for various things, and I think we still have it so great.
Yeah, it's
And
the World Cup.
blessed to
We
be.
have over 1 million people have come into the U.S. to witness the World Cup, and they're blown away. They're like, this is
Yeah.
nothing like what I thought it would be. You
Yeah.
guys have incredible food. They don't like how far apart everything is. You know,
Yeah.
it's like 2 hours to
Not walking everything.
everywhere. Yeah, you can't walk anywhere.
Walk from Dallas to Austin.
Yeah, good luck. You do that and post on YouTube, you get 1 million views. You know what I mean? It's a challenge. In terms of, you know, what you want to do next, these next few years, you know, the rest of your 20s, what would be an ideal end outcome for you? That maybe it is a very specific number outcome, like I want to have X amount in the bank, or maybe it's I want to be married with kids. When you look at the rest of your 20s, what do you really want to accomplish?
Yeah, I think having a good, I think the forefront, obviously, continue my faith, my relationship with God, having great relationship with Him, and then hopefully having a successful business. I don't have a set number on that, but I think having a sustainable business that I do not have to worry about for the rest of my life would be the ideal goal. As well as having obviously a family, kids, everything like that.
Would you sell that company at a certain point, or do you want to be in control of your business
I
forever?
would definitely sell the company at a certain point. Does that mean I'll never work again for the rest of my life? No, I can't sit still. I always need to do stuff, so I'll probably always be doing something the rest of my life. But just having that, I guess the true win for me would be having that business that whether I sell or keep, I'm good and don't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life.
What do you
And that
consider?
number can be different for everyone.
It is 100% different for a lot
Yeah.
of people. I mean, there's people with nothing and they're like, I'm good. But what do you consume on a daily basis or like weekly? Are you spending a lot of time learning and consuming, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I think one of my biggest methods of consuming information is podcasts. I'm always listening to podcasts.
Who are your faves?
So we got
Content
Huberman
economy.
Lab, Dr. Mark Hyman for some health, Gary Brecka for health, and then more business stuff. I like Rich Habits podcast, 505 podcast, Open Residency, CPG Startup.
Wow. You're
I
really
have a bunch. I
yeah.
have, and then I love YouTube channels. So Greg Lavecchia, Dom Acavone, I think I'm pronouncing his last name correct, and Ross McKay with Cadence. Them three, I binge all of their YouTube videos as well. So that whole group right there, like I'm always refreshing for new podcasts and listen to them right away.
Those are some studs.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of those guys have done, at least on the surface, an incredible job of balancing all those different avenues. I mean, Ross, I
Yeah,
watched
he's really
Ross's,
big about his family.
yeah, his
and
family's in a lot of
kids
his
first.
content
Yeah.
and stuff, which is sick. You know, one thing I'd like to do, I guess it's that style of content where the business is good enough that you can kind of just show what it is, you know,
Yeah.
just document it. But a lot of those guys, when they're starting out, say, man, I really wish I would have documented the really early days. And so I think, you know, that's something we talked about recently. If you can do that now, maybe before the protein bars, even now, it might even mean a lot more 10 years from now. You're
Yeah.
like, dude, I was literally talking to different, like, you know, the story that
Yeah.
you're talking about. What do you think you've learned the most in the process of planning out and launching a new CPG brand?
I've learned that everyone says fail fast and move fast, and you're always just go and take action. And even if I think I'm going fast enough, you can always go faster. Like that's my biggest thing I've learned is your manufacturer tells you one date. Next thing you know, they say, oh, we're going to have this to you by Monday. Doesn't get there Monday. I text them on Tuesday and they say, oh, we had delayed. It's going to be Wednesday. Next thing you know, it's Friday night. Then it's the weekend. So we'll do it Monday, the following Monday. And just delays come up over and over and over. And then something doesn't look right. The ingredients are wrong. The macros are wrong. Just different things. And there's always delays in the process. So I think learning is just move on, move fast, fail fast, and just keep going. And I still struggle with it. I'm a perfectionist at heart. And there's little things I'll get caught up on. But those little things often aren't worth waiting weeks or a month to make perfect, right? Just like fail fast, get it out there, and you'll correct it as you go.
I'm going to clip farm a little bit here. Do you think you grew up privileged?
I would say I grew up in a well-off family and had a blessed upbringing. I didn't have any struggles financially or anything like that. So I would say I grew up in I would say privilege, yeah.
You
If
know,
I'm being honest.
yeah.
I'm gonna get, yeah, clip farming, right? I was privileged. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't see the negative connotation to that. I think a lot of times when people have conversations,
See my first explaining that right there? I went that long-winded answer around it to end with. I
Yeah.
guess it was a privileged upbringing
Yeah.
compared to what people consider it, but I don't know why it's a negative thing. Yeah.
Well, if you grow up in the US, I mean, most people here have a privileged upbringing relative to the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have an iPhone, life is probably not as bad as you think, really. If you can talk and you can speak, like my brother's disabled, he can't
Yeah.
do anything, you know? So I think more people than you would think, actually, in my mind, have a privileged upbringing. But they always attribute it to money and
Yeah.
relative to how they're doing to Elon. It's like, well, that's retarded.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really funny how people think about that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I could go on a whole rant about this stuff, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see the negative connotation to it.
It's like your parents just did what they're
If
supposed to do.
if you don't come off as arrogant and cocky and flaunting all this stuff, like, yeah, it's just how you were born.
And coming off a way like that, if you hang out with people that are super wealthy, they might come off that way, even though they're not trying to, because their life is just crazy. Like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
just went on a trip to, I don't know, Turks, and I just bought this new car, and like some people might think that's flexing, but to them and their friend group, that's just like what they do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of also a little bit of that as well.
100%.
Yeah. We got like 15 minutes left. What do you want to talk about? Yo, chat, cut this.
Explain, tell me a little bit more about Artec and kind of what you're working on real quick.
Man.
It's brief, I know we talked about it a little before, and I know it's very meticulous, but the brief synopsis.
So I had a mentor recently say, explain Artec to me. And I was like, yeah, this is what it is. It's a creator platform, And in my mind, like I dumbed it down as much as I could. And he goes, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't think you really know what your product is. And I was like, there's no other way for me to possibly explain that to you.
Yeah.
Like it's creators that make ads. Like how could I, and it just, if it's a certain demo, people will not get it. But the easy answer for Artec is that we want you to be able to market anything. And we're starting with consumer apps because it's what we've done the past couple of years for our agency and stuff. But if you're an app founder or a software company, you go on Artec, and I'm not even supposed to talk about this. My CTO is going to be pissed. But we basically built an agent. Sorry, Rob. We built an agent that runs campaigns for you. Everything we do now with AI, it's completely automated. So why isn't marketing? Everyone else is like, I need to hire this person for marketing or to manage creators or to get me more creatives.
Yeah.
You can literally just have an agent do all of that grunt work for you. And that's what Artec is. So we have trained creators on our platform. These creators have generated billions of views for different companies. We have about 13,000 total creators. So that's channel number one, is creators making content for you. And then you can also manage all of your ads. So your TikTok ads, your Meta ads, all in one place. And this becomes, if you're a software company, your one platform you need to do all of your marketing. And the best part is if a creator isn't on brief or is not posting or any types of problems that people run into all the time trying to manage creators, all you have to do is, the agent actually does it for you. So our agent, Autopilot, will go manage those creators, tell them, hey, you're not posting on time. This video was off brief. We're analyzing and ingesting all of our videos. And then anytime there's a new viral video in any niche or for any competitor, Artec is looking at that and giving it to you. So you know exactly how your competitors are going viral, what's working.
So you have like a top tier coach basically helping all of these creators.
Yeah, and performance marketer and, head of content, like it's all wrapped in one. And if you have a question or this is like super confusing, you just type to the agent and say like, how can I grow my app profitably?
Yeah.
And it just builds you the campaign for it, hires the creators for you, the whole thing. No one's done this before, so we're really excited about it.
That's awesome.
I might have to.
Do you have a rough launch date?
It's supposed to be end of June.
End of June. Oh,
yeah.
coming up here quick.
But I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be end of June because it's such a difficult project. And
do you have a beta version out?
Not really for external testers. Internally, we're testing campaigns and stuff, but we're not really letting a lot of people look at it yet because we don't want people to start copying it.
Yeah.
We think we'll probably have. We've been developing it for like 4 to 5 months, and I talked to an old developer of mine, and he was like, "Dude, what's taking so long? Like, development's the easy thing now." And I'm like, yeah, for a normal consumer app, like I
Hmm.
believe it is a lot easier. But for, I mean, we have an iOS app, we have our backend, an agent, the web app, like, I don't want to give out our whole roadmap, but there's a lot of other things we're working on too. And tying it all together so that it's a seamless experience. And I mean, think about like if I give Meta $10 and it makes me like 11 or 12, that's what Meta's job is. And we are kind of trying to do the same thing, but with organic.
Hmm.
And organic is much harder to track attribution and all these different things. But that's what the platform is as a whole. Like the
Yeah.
one thing would be, you know, we want it to be market anything. You just
Hmm.
go in there and you type like market my lawnmower business,
Yeah.
or whatever, and it gets you the creators in the area, the ads, this posting
Everything you
schedule.
need to just run
Yeah,
that.
and you don't, if you're a blue collar guy, you don't know how to like manage creators. Our
No, yeah.
agent does it for you because the creators
Yeah.
get talked to by the agent. So you don't have to like sit there and message and hope that they answer. The
Hmm.
agent's pinging them,
That
whatever.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's
excited to see how this goes. Yeah, maybe for once it's live, we'll get on there for Hive.
yeah, no, I think it would be great for you guys. I mean, just being able to see the competitor research alone, like we have a really, really good data provider that we partnered with, which was expensive. But it's what we had to do. So at launch, we're already burning money.
Yeah.
But we're like, we have to put out the best product possible.
Yeah.
And so what you talked about was you can always go quicker. I've had to work backwards.
Yeah.
I've had to go slower.
But I think obsessing over the product is the right way to do it. It's the same with my bar. When I say quicker, yes, I could move quicker, but product, I believe, is what you need to like. Your product has to be good. If I'm releasing my bar, I can't release a product quick and that doesn't fit my standards just to get it out there. That's not what I mean. I think you have to obsess over your product and make it like the best thing possible. And that way, when you go to market it, it sells itself. You don't have to worry about those things. Now, it's hard to say how do you obsess over the product without moving too slow, but I think there's that fine balance. And I mean, moving fast and like the decisions and things that aren't as product focused.
Yeah. I wanted to launch an RTech version with just our creators because a lot of our creators create for all the best apps and D2C brands.
Hmm.
We have like 1,000 that are trained, they print money. And I was like, we could just launch like a simple vibe coded site with our creators, compete on creator strength, and we'll crush anyone
Yeah.
because I fully believe in our creators. And I partnered with, our new CTO, and he was full product guy, product designer. And so we just had like this constant push back and forth, like tug of war thing,
Hmm.
where it's like, if we launch now, distribution will be, we'll start stacking distribution more, versus he wants the first experience to blow people away, and be a generational product,
Yeah.
which I do too. But I also know if we go month by month in development, then we're not even listening to user feedback as much
Yeah.
as we
You
should.
need to get real feedback and get it out there, and
Right.
you'll get real feedback.
And
I think it's take to that point where it feels like it's, yes, this is quality to our standards to release it. And then those first 6 months, yeah, you're going to get constant user feedback and can
yeah.
adjust as you go.
And so fortunately for us, because we have the creator community, and then on our team, we also have people that manage apps for different companies, or different app studios, stuff like that. We know exactly what our users want. We talk to them all day, every day. So
Hmm.
we really understand it. Um, it's just a weird balance. But yeah, long story short, our tech is a creator platform. Like that's really what it is. And what's different about it is it's AI native. Creators get paid on time. They get paid, quicker than every week instead of
Hmm.
having to wait for a month. And then on the brand side, you get trained creators from our private creator community. Um,
That's awesome.
Goats.
Because I know
So
UGC, I mean, it's the move nowadays. Everyone talks about it, and you just want that organic content because that's what is most sellable. I think everything nowadays is just trying to make the sale and disguise things, just whatever, and people aren't trustworthy. So I think those UGC creators and videos is huge for any brand because it's
yeah,
organic, it's real, it's trustworthy.
and people are
Um,
catching on to
yeah,
UGC now. But a format that works really well that I've seen recently is people will say, um, "Hey, by the way, this is like straight up an ad, but the product's just so good, like I had to share it." And people are like, "Okay, well, he's being
it's
honest."
honest. People,
Yeah,
all they care about is honesty. It's like
yeah,
just tell them what they want to hear and don't try to beat around the bush, and
yeah,
I think you're good to go.
yeah. No, I totally agree. Are you going to be doing UGC for Hive, or you're?
Yeah, definitely both. We're starting to work on some UGC with Hyve right now, getting some creators to help us out, and then definitely on the bar as well.
Mhm.
Um, both the UGC side of the terms you're talking, like organic UGC that these creators are creating, as well as some paid ad UGC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the typical standard, just so people know, you Meta, after the Andromeda update, favors a lot of creative volume, which means you need to be testing a ton of content. And the easiest way to do that is have a bunch of creators create a ton of content organically, and then anything that performs well, you can push to ads. Other people gamify this more. People that are spending a lot of money, they just have creators make an egregious amount of paid ads to kind of skip that process. It's a little bit quicker, but it depends on like what stage you are in your development.
Yeah,
Basically.
definitely.
Well, cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, one of my last topics I was just going to talk about is, I mean, it's awesome to even be sitting here with you in this podcast studio. And like, I just want to speak to everyone out there listening, is that if I didn't ever post that first TikTok, if I didn't ever put myself out there and just try something new and take that risk, I wouldn't be in Austin, Texas. I wouldn't be sitting with you on this podcast. I wouldn't have met my 2 co-founders, Drew and Drew. I wouldn't have probably started my protein bar because I wouldn't have an audience to sell it to. Everything I'm doing in my life right now solely stemmed from me making the very first post on social media. And I don't think there's a single downside to anyone posting at all. Like, there is nothing except fear of judgment. I talked about this in my story the other day, is that like fear is simply an emotion and just like a thought. It's not real. It's not a harm to you. It's not threatening your existence. It's just your brain thinking about the worst case scenario. So your fear of, my friends are going to make fun of me. Well, what do I post? What if I get judged? Like, those are all just like what ifs. They're not, you can look at it the other way and say, well, what if I get 100,000 followers? What if I change my life? What if I do something I love every day? So I think just taking that risk, trying that thing that's in the back of your head. Everyone says like, go all in on what you want, quit your job, try what you want to do. But like, from experiencing and going the corporate side, the engineering side, to doing what I truthfully want to do, like, I couldn't agree with it more. And it doesn't mean wake up tomorrow and quit your job and just like be blindlessly walking around, but just take that small first step. Try the thing you've always wanted to do. You're going to be happier. You're going to love yourself. You're going to be more passionate about what you're working on. I mean, that's exactly how I started found my 2 co-founders, through Instagram. And that's kind of how why we created Hyve, is to meet those other people that are going through the same thing, and taking that risk like yourself. And it's awesome to be able to have someone that I practically met through Hyve or through my businesses that I'm starting. And now we're sitting here doing podcasts together. So everyone needs to take that risk.
It's pretty incredible. You ever see Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Timothy's mom in the movie, she goes, fear is a mind killer.
Yeah.
Like it really does kill your, like, if you ignored it, you'd be totally fine.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird evolutionary trait that we have to make sure that we're alive and, we don't get outcasted by society.
It's survival. It's like your
natural survival thing, but it's not real. Society is really good, like you can dude, if we really got into it, we see people do crazy stuff and they're fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 100%. You can kind of do anything.
Would you agree with this, that in every single thing I've done, right? My first post, my first starting app, starting the bar, there's always the fear to start. After you take that first step and you jump in the pool, the fear is gone.
Yeah, fear's gone.
Like, the minute you make a few reels, oh well, they're already out there. Everyone saw them already.
Nothing
the fear
happened.
of being judged is gone. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then it's like 2 months later, you get 10,000 followers. And you're like, this is sick. And your mindset just flips like that. And the only thing you can think is, I wish I knew this before.
I wish I could do more. And you start.
I wish I could do more. I wish I didn't wait 5 years thinking about this to start that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, we always hear about the downward spiral, the people who, like, I know people who went to Stanford that were smart, they got into drugs, now they live in a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just one thing after another, girlfriend broke up with them, can't find a job, start drugs, like, downward spiral. Upward spiral is the exact same thing in the other direction. And it comes from just a little bit of momentum and motion. When you get a little bit of motion, you can kind of get the upward spiral. You have to stay in motion. So it's very weird how that works. And a lot of it's very simple, boring consistency day after day. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes back to the don't give up. I think if you can just take the risk, take the first step, and then just don't give up, 2 simplest steps you could possibly do.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will talk to me on social media or through anything I'm doing, like, well, how did you know it was right for you? How did you know when to quit your job? How did you?
I just tried.
Like, yeah, these are all the questions of the negative what ifs. It's like the negative, well, that's not me, but I have this job, but there's no perfect time. There's no perfect experience. I didn't wake up one day making $1 million and I was like, oh, now I'm ready to quit my job. Like, no, I quit barely making any money from social media and just took the risk. Like, you just got to take that first step and you'll figure out that 9 times out of 10 it goes better than you expected.
Yeah, humans are very adaptable. So if you believe that you can pretty much adapt to any situation and make it work out for you, it probably will.
I saw this Instagram picture the other day. It said something about entrepreneurs or founders. It said like, how you know if you're a real entrepreneur is how well you can adapt. It's true. It's so true.
It's 100% true. The thing is, most people are capable of adapting, but they're in a position that they don't understand is comfortable. There's
that paradox of like
region beta paradox.
Yes, where it's good and Greg Leckett talked about it too the other day.
Does he?
Drew Shawson, my co-founder, always talks about this. You're in that good enough where you don't want to make the change. You're happy enough. You're making enough money. You don't want to take that risk. And that's the worst place to be in.
And you just have to do it because it's never going to sit right with you. You almost have to make your situation worse so you feel pain to change and become different. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck there. Most people don't have the discipline to get themselves up and out of that comfort zone. So not having discipline will allow them to fall out of it, experience more negative and pain, which will cause them to change and never go back and like take the next step.
100%. And I think my last piece is, if you do want to start a business or start anything, start content, it doesn't mean, oh, I have to go all in, quit my job, do this 24/7. That's my career. Start building something on the side, put in effort on the side. It's going to take long hours working your 9 to 5 and coming home and doing content or business for the other 5 hours after work, but that's what it takes. And then as you get traction and have a plan, then it might make sense down the line to quit your job or go full in on it. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing, like, oh, I can't quit my job tomorrow. You don't need to. Like, at least just start with your job.
What would you say to people who say, you know, they don't believe in you?
Like, don't believe in what I'm like.
Yeah, like
they don't try to make it.
Yeah.
I say just wait. Like, seriously, I mean, I seriously don't say this in a cocky way, but right after I quit my job, I had this like thought and feeling, and I still have it to this day, that I'm just like at peace, complacent, or not complacent, at peace and confident that something's going to work out. I don't even know what it's going to be. I'm super confident in Hyve. I'm super confident in my protein bar. And even if they don't work out, I genuinely am not worried at all. I'm going to figure it out and have that exact mentality that I'm just going to keep taking a risk and keep trying and never quitting. So, I mean, yeah, it sounds cliche, but like something's going to work out. I'm guarantee you.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
After a certain amount of evidence and stuff wins stacked behind you, that becomes
connections made, people, evidence stacked, discipline, trust built in yourself. Like you just know.
Once you've seen like the pattern that it takes, it's like, oh, I just need to do it for 5 more years. Cool. Let's do it.
Try something else. Maybe you meet someone else that has an idea and you help them with, like, something's going to work out. 100%. I think you're the same way, which I can tell through your own content and your life journey and all the businesses you've done too.
Content's super weird for me right now because I'm not supposed to talk about our tech. My CPO got really mad at me. He's
sorry for the question.
But we'll just wait till it's out, I guess.
Yeah.
Or not. I don't really care.
Cut it.
Yeah. But yeah, content's really weird because I know if I post, let's say I average 5K views, like nothing, right? But if I post 3 times a day or 4 times a day, I'm 15, 20K views about my product. Like, bro, like people don't understand, and it's interest specific. So if I only talk about like my product, then it's just going to go to people that are interested in that. As long as I do a good job with the hook, showing actual value, like genuinely trying to make a good piece of content, I'm just like getting customers for free. So it feels very antithetical to like what I stand for me not to be spam posting, because I just love to do it.
It's just free marketing.
It's
like
free marketing. Yeah.
There's no there's no cap to it.
Yeah.
Post 100 a day if you wanted.
Yeah, there's literally no downside. People don't understand that. They're like, well, what if you post back to back? It's like, it's still going to go out to the algorithm. Like,
exactly. You know? There's no certain time to post or hours or hashtags or any of that stuff. It's just post.
It's all fake. Yeah, it's all fake.
Just make good content.
Yeah, do you have the courage? There's a quote. It's like, courage is in shorter supply than genius. Like, there's actually a lot of smart people. There's a lot of like attractive people. Do you have the courage to go into the arena and be judged by other people for what you think is right or what you think is good? Because people are going to attack your ideas or beliefs or way of thinking, which feels like a personal attack. So do you have the courage to do that and go out there and build?
Yeah.
You know,
100%. And I think that, if you're doing something that's true to your values, your morals, your trust, it's helping society, it's benefiting other people, like, you shouldn't have the courage to go all in on it.
100%.
Unless you're going the scammy route and doing something like that, no, maybe you don't have the courage. But if you're doing something trustworthy and true to yourself, and it's a quality product, like you should have the courage, 100%.
Yeah, net positive. Bryce, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And where can people stay up to date with you?
Yeah, I'm on all socials, slightly different. Instagram at Bryce_Witmer, Witmer. TikTok is Bryce Witmer Fit. I have a YouTube at Bryce Witmer. Need to start posting more on there, and hopefully I'm gonna have a podcast of my own one day soon. And start documenting more on Spotify and my YouTube channel as well. So yeah,
Sounds good. Thank you for coming.
definitely. Thanks for having me, man. This is awesome.